Excuse me. Now we're going to do step 2 of the HDR process. Now that we've processed these using LR and Fuse, we're going to bring in the images again. We're going to bring those in Lightroom. So we're going to go to Library. We're going to bring in a new folder because we created that folder inside of the first folder, and this is what we called it, remember? And that was the first one. So we got 194 HDR. Choose that folder. Now the color balance in all these should be good. So a lot of the work is already done. We're going to import those images. The first thing I see is the skies are going to need to be done on these in Photoshop. Go to Develop. First one. Look at that. That thing's really leaning. I think it's leaning a lot more than it should be. So the easiest way to do the skies when it's like this is to get those highlights and make them brighter. So there's no density at all in the sky when you add it to Photoshop. We're going to right click, edit in Photoshop. Voila. This is going to be that quick paint job that we did. This is the fast way to do the skies when you have it looking like this. It's just all white. It's not a bad way to do it. So we're going to paint 55 darken. There we go. Just going to darken it in. See that? Done. Push the button. Save it. Okay, go back to Lightroom. We're going to do the second one. Probably should be this one. Right click, edit in Photoshop. First of all, cancel that. We need to make this be more white. It's not very white right there. So we're going to take the highlights, make them lighter. You see it turn white? There we go. That's better. Now we can edit it in Photoshop. Edit in Photoshop. And this is just a quick way to do it. This lady's already emailed me. She wants her pictures ASAP. So we're going to get these things up to her ASAP. See, we just kind of magically put that blue sky in. And you're going to see how it transforms once I put it into Lightroom. Let's save it. Let's go to the next one. See how fast. We don't necessarily want to be fast. We want to be good. So this will be the next one. This doesn't look like it's going to take too much, and it looks pretty white. You could do this a little bit, tad. So right click, edit in Adobe Photoshop. That's it. Paint the blue sky in. And Bob's your uncle. Just a touch of blue so it doesn't look white. Looks a little bit better. Most people won't even notice it, but you will. So now we're going to do, let's see. Which one is that? Come on. Let's see your preview. Going to take a while. I think it was that one. So we're going to do this last one. Right click, edit in Photoshop. Yes. Ooh, we got some problems up here with the leaves. I want to show you how to fix that. Well, this is a big no-no. So I'm just going to do this real quick. It does have a little bit of motion in it. I mean, I personally don't mind it. This one's not bad. It's when it's like right in front of your face. It's really bad. That's kind of like off to the side. There we go. We got that. Special effects. If you want to paint over it again, so just make it a little bit darker. It won't paint over itself, but it'll paint over once you lift your finger from the mouse. There we go. It's a little bit too blue, but we're going to fix that in Lightroom. Save it. All right, now let's delete the rest of those photos. So we got one of two, this one. this one, and that one. Right click, remove photos. When you're doing multiple removal, you have to do it in remove photos. Okay, so we got some outside shots. Let's do the inside. So the color's done, basically. So we don't even need to hardly mess with this. Maybe just a histogram, center it up a little bit. For HDR, this, by putting the highlights all the way down and the shadows all the way up, gives it that HDR look that people expect. I personally don't like it, but people expect that. Color balance is already done. You might want to add a little contrast just to make that a little bit wider. Okay, it's a lot of white in here, so it is leaning towards the right. All right, I'm just going to do this real quick like. Same thing, flare. This is what people expect. A little bit dark on that. Consider it's a light room. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? I think we're good. One thing I forgot to do is this one and that one. So we'll go back. If you forget to do them sometimes at the end, you can do them all at once. Sometimes it's even easier. See that? All right, where was I? Right here? Yeah, that one's done. That one's good. So I do make these pretty good, so it makes it a lot easier for you to edit. Let's give it a little bit more because it's a big white building here. Give it the HDR look. Flare, detailing the shadows and the highlights. Same thing. Highlights, shadow. Move that graph over. It's a lighthouse. That looks pretty good. Color balance looks good. Okay. Highlights, shadows. What does it need? It needs a little bit of contrast and some exposure. There you go. Perfect. Go into the bathroom. You think that's yellow, but this is white for sure. So let's just click on the ceiling and see. You got some blue. We can take a little bit more blue out. We took some out before, but that's okay. So we're going to, this is basically a very light bathroom. So we need to make this a little bit towards the lighter side because it is light. I think that looks pretty good. Highlights and shadows, flare. Shouldn't take too much, but look at the detail. Those lights. Remember those lights before? I mean, we have detail in those lights now. Here we go. Color balance. I didn't like that color balance all the way. We've got that. Looks good. That looks pretty good. Just a little bit more. Just get it off of there. Let's do the highlight shadow deal. Now it looks perfect. Look at that. Perfectamundo. Let's do a color balance off that ceiling. A little bit cold there. I'm still seeing that blue and aqua. They call it aqua. I call it cyan. Tomato. Here we go. A little bit brighter. It's a light room, so let's just brighten it up just a little bit. Same thing here. Boom. Lighten it up. Just, that's pretty good, though. It looks pretty darn good. Highlight shadows. Give it that HDR effect. Just kind of push it a little bit. Okay, here we go. Off the ceiling. That looks, there you go. It looks kind of red, though, to me. I don't know about you, but these lights might be throwing it off. So let's just do the sink there. That looks a little better. It's just a little bit dark, according to the histogram. We're going by that histogram. We got to get those highlights down. Oh, there we go. Looks almost professional. If I should almost thank you or not. Here we go. Rotate. There's a little arrow usually down the bottom right here. But if you don't have that, you just right click it. Rotate to the left. To the left. All right. Color balance. This has got a lot of yellow in it. We could probably get rid of some of that orange and yellow. Just to neutralize it just a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Highlights and shadows for sure. And we want to make this a little bit brighter because it is a white subject. Excuse me. Okay, color balance. Boom. That looks great. Fantabulous. Okay, we got a lot of ceiling there. I think we're going to look good. If we took blue out of this fan, we're going to lose that blue in the count. So I'm not really worried about that fan too much. I think that one looks great. I think this one looks great. A little bit of blue there, but it's no big deal. Look at that. You notice I forgot I forgot to do the lens correction on all of these. So I'm going to go back. Let's see. Did we do the lens correction on this one? Nope. This one? Oh my gosh. All of these I forgot. Up to this one, I believe. Boom, boom. See any changes? It does get a little bit brighter, doesn't it? Let me turn my phone off. I can take a message on this because I don't want to mess up my tutorial. Leave a message. Where was I? Hitting that. All right. This is where we left off. Color balance. Let's go ahead and do this. It is white. So we're going to get that up a little bit. We got the we got that. But let's hit the auto align button and see how straight our verticals are. Not bad. That looks pretty straight. I want to crop this just a little bit. I don't like that little bit right there on the ceiling. There we go. That looks better. Now the next one, remove chromatic, enable correction, color balance. Bring that up just a little bit more, just a tad. Just a tad, a little bit heavy on that side. Boom, boom, color balance. A little bit of blue back there. It's not such a big deal, I don't think. Just a dab of do you. All right, here we go. Oh, forgot the lens correction. And you'll forget the lens correction. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 4. Not even a 4. All right, let's do this one here. Exposure, let's make it up a little bit. Bring that now we got some blue. Now we're getting some blue in the middle. Take that out. We could add yellow to it, but really it's in the background. I'm just worried about that. You still see the yellow in the tree, in the chairs. We could crop this. I'm going to leave it. Here we go. This is a really solid histogram. I think this looks great. Looks great. Step 2, 1 and 2 is a lot less work on each of them, but it's still a long process. But it's a good one. Let's get those highlights and shadows down. Highlights and shadows. All right, up a little bit. Highlights, shadows. Down, a little bit of contrast. Looks good. All right, bring it up just a tad. I think this is looking pretty good. Pretty darn good. All right, here we go. Rock and roll, baby. Look at that. Add a little bit of brightness to that. Looks good. We're going to come down here and we're going to hit auto, straighten up these lines. Man, they were perfect. I'll tell you what, this photographer is good. Don't care what you say. Hit auto. Color balance. So here's, see the difference between that and that? Let's click there and see how yellow it gets. You see how yellow that got? Click here, look how blue it gets. Boom. I think that's a lot closer. I think that looks great. Fantabulous. This looks yellow, but it's really not. It is yellow. You gotta be careful and stuff like that. You know, look for something white. Exposure, we need to bring that exposure up. Let's get rid of some of those highlights. Oops. Get rid of some of those. That is bright yellow in my opinion. So let's just do another color balance because I think that changed the color when I, if it's not the ceiling, check out that door. That door looks kind of yellow. That looks better. Definitely looks better. All right, let's try this again right here. Boom, that's yellow. That's blue. Let's bring that histogram in the middle a little bit more. Highlights and contrast, shadows. And let's do some, there we go. Man, that looks almost professional. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Looking good, Houston. There we go. Rock and roll. All right, here we go. It's getting there. We're getting there. Look at that exposure. We definitely watch the doors improve when I push these two buttons here. You see those doors get straight all of a sudden? Flip. Looks awesome. Oh, that was really crooked, but now it's not. Now it's straight. Now for these, I usually just hit auto. Actually, I do auto color balance, but that was a good auto there. Auto color balance. Auto color balance. Bring those highlights up. Auto highlights. Auto. Highlights. Auto. Highlights. That's it. We're going to change and make a blue sky on these, so we're going to edit in Photoshop. These are the outside backyard shots. I'm going to show you how to do another video on sky replacement. It can be kind of complicated and there's a lot to it, so I'm going to show you that stuff later. Let's just paint this blue sky in. This is great for now. You should see it doesn't go into the darker areas. You see that? You can paint right over top of it. It's not going to affect it at all. That's it. Done. Save it. Save it. Let's do another one. Lightroom. Next. Got one, that one. Let's do this one. I just double clicked it. Let's see if it opens up in Photoshop. That's not opening. Let's do it this way. Scoop, scoop. That's one problem I have is I work a lot faster than the computers can work. I don't know if it's uploaded or not. It's like it's so slow. Slow motion. Edit in. Come on, let's get the Photoshop going. I know I said this already. Let's do it. Come on. Oh, it was open. Look at it. Did you see that underneath this? All right. I'm just going to paint it, paint it, paint it. I don't think we have any spill anywhere. I think that's going to be great. Edit. We're done. Save. Lightroom. Let's do the next one. This one right here. Right click. Edit in Photoshop. Okay. Go into Photoshop. Look at that. Open right up. Look at that. Golly. We actually have brushes to do clouds if you wanted to do like a cloud. You can actually do a cloud in your name if you wanted to, if you just did the right brushes, but we'll get into that later. Okay, that's good enough. What do you think? Good enough for government work? Good enough for government work. We're done with that one. Save it. Let's see about that other one. I think there was another one. No, maybe not. Lightroom. Let's do another one. That one's done. Let's do this one. Right click. Edit in Photoshop. Yes, with the Lightroom adjustments. Boom, bah. It's a really neat feature I like, that it doesn't spill that blue onto the parts where we don't want it. That looks good. All right, save it. Save it, save it, save it. All right, looks like the last one coming up. Maybe not, maybe the second to last one coming up. Right click, let's edit it in Photoshop. Edit, edit, let's do it. Come on, today. God, I'm just too fast for this computer. When is Matt gonna make a computer for people like me? With the ultra sharp. Look at that. Look at that, that looks just fantabulous. Done, done. Done. Done, done, done. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Last shot right here, the back porch. Right click. Edit in. Photoshop. Look at that. Look at that, would you? Look at that. Did we get any spill on there? I don't know if we got any spill on there or not. History brush, I'll tell you. Yep, you see that spill? You see it when you go to paint it. You gotta be careful of that. Just clean it up a little. It's not that big a deal. It's just I want to keep these images to be the best of the best of the best. You know why? Because I am the best of the best of the best. Sir! All right, that's it. Look at that. Looks almost professional. You ever heard that before, have you? All right, so now we're in Lightroom. We're getting ready to export. Let's just delete the ones we don't need, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right click, remove photos. Yeah, remove them. So these are all done. These are looking good. Let's find the address to this one. This was Stacy Perry yesterday. Lake Trail. Let's copy this. Control C. Export. All the settings should be the same except the address. File size, short edge, export. Actually, let's stop it. We only did one anyway, the one that was selected. When you do that blue sky like that, sometimes it's good just to go through and hit this auto button. Where is auto? It just makes it look a little bit more real. I don't know why. And it just blends it or whatever it does to it. Makes them look the same. Only different. Very front. I'm going to make these look just a little bit better. Boom. All right, now we can select all, file, export. It's the same address, 2500. Okay, we're going to export it. It's going to say, yes, we're going to overwrite that because it wasn't even that picture. There we go. We wait 36 files. It'll probably take about 30 minutes. Go grab a coffee.